Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Makar Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson on this July the 14th, 2022. On this Thursday morning, through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And this is for In the News in regards to relations between Israel and the United States, even tighter, even more than ever. You know, because they trying to counter Iran's from their nuclear capability. You know, they trying to find ways to continue to denounce and remove nuclear arsenal from Iran, because Iran is a threat to Israel and the United States combined. You know, as the tensions between Iran and Israel heat up, now tensions are starting to increase between Iran and the United States as well too, as Joe Biden have his trip to the Middle East. And I believe this is his first time going to the Middle East since he been elected as president since last year, I believe, in January 2021. And this is a news article from CNN News, and it reads, Biden expands U.S. security ties with Israel as he works to counter Iran on second day of Middle East swing. President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid on Thursday signed a new joint declaration aimed at expanding the security relationships between the nations and countering efforts by Iran to destabilize the region, according to the administration. According to the senior administration officials, the new declaration includes a commitment to never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon, which that's not going to happen because Iran is going to continue to create their nuclear capability. You know, they're going to continue to create their uranium. I believe the uranium is up to about 60% now, 50 to 60% now. And that is capable of creating a nuclear bomb. And then Iran have upgradable development of hypersonic missiles, long range, short range, and the ICBMs as well too. Because in the last days, Iran is going to have allies as well too. So how can United States and Israel together, as they sign this declaration of for security to destabilize Iran in the region? You know, that's not going to stop Iran from creating their nuclear capability. You know, that's not going to stop Russia for their nuclear capability. That's not going to stop North Korea with their nuclear capability as well too. So continuing on with the news article, it says the new declarations includes a commitment to never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. Once officials, right, because it doesn't matter how many economic sanctions that you put on. It doesn't matter how many economic sanctions that you're going to put on Israel. Slovakia. That doesn't, as far as the United States concerns, and along with this Western allies, it doesn't matter how many economic sanctions that you put on Iran. That's still not going to stop them from creating their nuclear capability to their nuclear arsenal collection, And it says the declaration includes a commitment to never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear weapon. Once officials preventing Biden's schedule said it comes as Biden faces a mount pressure to present a comprehensive plan to constrain Iran's as amending rising tensions Biden has pushed for a revival of the nuclear deal that former President Donald Trump withdrew the U.S. from 2018, but hopes to re-entering the deal seem to be fading. Right? Yeah, because that makes sense. Because after he just signed that security declarations to have more alliance and security ties between Israel and the United States, and after he signed that, them and the Prime Minister of Israel, after they signed that.
He said he didn't mind about keeping the dog down there. He said he still worked for him. That's where you fucking up at. You fucking up at somebody helping you. Man, you just can't walk up and nobody talking about bring something in their house. You can't do that no more. Shit. The landlord want their money. They don't care what the hell you do. You can't bring nothing on nobody else's property. You can't do that. I said we had a house over there like on Gates. That's what basing for. You put dogs in. And then when they get big, you build them a fucking dog out. And put a chain on their head. Serious. Man, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's real talk.
What's up, bro?
Wait till he's still good, man. Not getting a pox.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, they out here, they having babies. I'm going down there to Summit to that store to get them damn stick trap and some parts. Get Keita in here, she'll get him tonight. Years later, I seen something running across a little baby that they might have a baby. That's what it is. Yeah, they out here.
Salakia. Talk to my family members. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Salakia for the momentary interruption. Back to the lesson at hand. So yeah, just like Iran is going to continue to create their nuclear capabilities, as you continue to have the UN watchdog to watch over I think the secret lab the secret nuclear lab when Iran developed their nuclear capabilities, where they stockpile their missiles and stuff like that, as they continue to create more uranium, of more development, upgrading of hypersonic missiles, and the potential upgrading of a nuclear bomb, which is going to increase more than ever in the last days, because these wars and rumors of wars are definitely heating up, especially tensions in the Middle East, because you already have tensions between Hezbollah, Hezbollah in Israel, Palestine versus Israelis, because there's a lot of many different tensions that's going on in the Middle East. Then you got the current tensions over there in Yemen. They don't know if they're going to come with another peace treaty. It's talks on that. Then you got the confrontation, cross-border clashes between the Syrian government, I believe, or some allied-backed groups that's going against the Israelis. That's why Israelis' aggression keep on firing rockets between the borders, between the Syrian border and the Israel border as well too. So you got a lot of many different conflicts going on in that region, even though it's been long-standing conflicts and proxy wars as well too. But the confrontation and the clashes between the different nations and different kingdoms as well too is going to continue to increase in the last days. So, that's why the article said about, Joe Biden trying to find ways to revive the 2015 nuclear deal, which is not going to happen. It's just going to continue to fade away. Even if they do, on both sides, that representation from the United States and representations from Iran, those both parts, even if they do try to have talks, clearly direct talks, even if it's indirect talks and directly talks, face-to-face towards one another, of both representation on both sides, it's not going to show much progress, and it's going to continue to fade, because after Joe Biden signed that declaration for security ties for Israel and the United States to have more closer alliance security ties to potentially stop Iran from destabilizing and to stop Iran from nuclear capabilities and stop them developing nuclear weapons and potentially a dangerous nuclear bomb as well too. But it's not going to stop Iran from doing that, because Iran is going to have allies as well too. As much as the United States got allies, Iran got allies as well too. And China and Russia is one of them, of their allies, because you're going to have all these allies going against one another. It's going to be a tornado tag. Allies going, it's going to be a tag team tornado clashes of nations going against one another, because it's going to be China, Russia, and Iran, North Korea going against United States, Israel, and other allied countries that the United States have, along with the Western allies that the United States got as well too, and the allies of Iran as well too. So you're going to see that in the last days, because these wars and rumors of wars are definitely heating up, and it's going to definitely increase even more than ever, And I'm going to bring out some scriptures for that since I mentioned that. Okay. This is a scripture that I always normally been bringing out, because the tension's been increasing between the nations, as always. Now it's been increasing now more than ever. And this is the book of Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Be ye not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, because we, the men of the Lord, the true servants, the true prophets of Yahweh Yahushua, so we seeing these things taking place on the planet Earth in regards to the wars and rumors of wars increasing, nations and different kingdoms clashing increasingly against one another. So we be not troubled for all these things, because we know these things that takes place on the planet Earth, because these are things that are biblical prophecies, and we seeing these things unravel and unfolding throughout the whole planet Earth, because these are the signs of the times that we are living in. After Joe Biden and the Prime Minister of Israel signed that security declaration to further stop Iran from nuclear capability, that's just going to build tensions even more and more. And I'm not going to be surprised the United States and Western allies is going to continue to use more economic sanctions on Iran and its allies as well too, because Iran definitely got allies. Iran got allies in the Syrian region and parts of the Middle East as well too, and Yemen as well too. So that's just going to further escalate more tensions now more than ever, And verse 7, this is the book of Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Right, because these things are going to continue to increase and escalate and continue to grow now more than ever in the last days. Because you're going to have these nations going to constantly, continually clash with one another on an economic scale, verbal scale, and it's going to get to a very physical scale as well too. And that goes into war, which is recorded in the book of Revelations, because we are definitely living in the book of Revelations as well too. As you see these tensions starting to stir up between these nations and different kingdoms as well too. And that's recorded in Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. And we starting to see that grow even now more than ever, Even though we're so used and accustomed to hearing things about growing tensions in the Middle East, and they've been going on quite some while now. But it's going to furthermore increase, and it's going to increase now more than ever, in the last days. And so with that, I hope this lesson was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushua Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, preaching his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And before I close out the sit-down lesson, through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua, on this July the 14th, 2022, at 9:26 a.m. Central Standard Time, on this Thursday morning in the a.m. So yeah, after the United States and Iran signed this security declaration, so they can have even more security alliance between the nations, which they've been alliance for a very long time. So that's just gonna, that prevents them. That's gonna continue to show their continued effort as a close allies between Israel and United